Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, Childhood Finds, if you've never joined me here before, and today I'm a little discombobulated. We're doing a what sold video, but I'm in the middle of moving, and I'm just about at the point where I'm going to start moving my eBay store and packing that up, so I'm not as prepared as I typically am, but I wanted to get this out and try to get some other videos out to you, so I hope you can still enjoy it. I have a lot of sales, and I did mention in my last video I have changed some things. I've been taking a ton of offers, so some of these items, yes, I could have gotten more for, but I just want to, any less item that I do not have to pack is amazing. Or pack in the sense that I've got to move it and then pack it to ship it if I sell it. So one less step for an item. So anything I've been able to sell, I have sold. And I've had a sale going on pretty much all my items. I don't typically do sales a lot, but I did that this week of pretty much everything. And I still have the shipping going on where I have my discount passed along to the buyer. And I still think that's making a pretty big difference in sales, but sales are pretty decent. I'm seeing the slowdown now. I haven't listed in probably 2 weeks or so because I didn't want to add to the pile that I had to move. So all I've been doing is just staying active, doing end and sell similars, things like that to just keep my store cruising. Mercari and Poshmark have been okay. I've got a few sales to show you. I have more than I'm showing, of course, but it hasn't been bad. So I am happy with what's going on, and hopefully in the next week or two, I'll be back to full-fledged listing and running everything. But I'll go ahead and share some sales with you. This will be 2 parts, just like most of my other what solds. So please join me for the second one that when it comes out, I will link it down in the description. Okay, so we're gonna get started with this first one. First, let me explain if you hear snoring or loud breathing. I have a basset hound in the bedroom dreaming, and then I've also got a bloodhound right next to me snoring very loudly. So if you hear that, some weird noises going on, that's the boys. They're during nap time and I am disturbing it. But let's start with our first item. So this is gonna be a woman's Aztec Southwestern denim and fleece jacket sweatshirt. It was a 2XL. I paid $2 for this at a thrift store. And I, again, don't know much about clothes, but I know that denim is pretty good. And this was just, this was a special piece. It had lots going for it. It was, I don't know, should I say the word groovy? Is that the right word? It was fun. But it sold for full asking price, and I am very happy with that. I can show you the tag. I don't know if that makes a difference, but it was in nice condition. This is a Bruce Springsteen Born to Run half-speed mastered. And this one I was very excited about because I have found it's almost impossible to find records now, which makes me very sad because they're one of my favorite things to source and sell. And it's just really hard to find. Every yard sale I go to, there's someone asking for them. But this one I found after many people had already leaped through it, and I did sell it for full asking price. I paid $1 at the yard sale for it. My partner does like keeping a lot of records, so sometimes a lot of the ones I do get to find don't quite make it to sell. This is the cutest thing in the whole world. I was so giddy when I found these guys. And so this is a 1980s lot of 3 Garfield, Arlene, Odie. So Garfield in the middle, Arlene's pink, and then we got Odie the dog here. And they were vintage. They weren't in amazing condition. They were Dakin, and I just love them so much. I picked these up at kind of an estate sale clean out, and I'm gonna sneeze, I'm sorry. Allergies have been an adventure lately for me. And I picked these up at a sale. It was $1.50 for all 3 of them, 50 cents each. I picked up a lot at that sale. It was an amazing, just fill box sale. But these guys I could have got more for. I sold them for $25. I was a little sad to take that, but it was a fair offer, and they're going to a good home, and they're just so cute. This one's pretty cool. So this is a Daphne Golf Club head cover, Collie dog plush. I also put in Sheltie in there as another keyword, so Sheetlin, and I sold it for a best offer of $20. This is when I try to get creative at sales, so it was a really good estate sale, but I could tell the things they were attached to, and one of them was golf clubs. I don't look at golf clubs anyway, but they did not care about the things that were on top of the golf clubs. So I picked up this head cover for, I don't know, 50 cents to $1, if that, and sold it for really good money. This is an antique hand-tinted photograph, McDonald's Peak, Mission Range, Mountain, Montana. It's from the 1920s, and I have all that info, which was amazing because it was all written right on the back for me. I shared this in a haul video a while back. I promise when I move, I will start doing some haul videos again. I just haven't wanted to bring all that stuff and deal with all the extra clutter. Because you want to know what else stinks about moving? Your death pile. Your death pile's the worst, let me just warn you. But besides that, this was a nice piece. My mother-in-law picked this up at a yard sale. It was a retired antique dealer, and we paid $5 for this, and it sold very quickly. I'd probably say less than a month, a couple weeks if that. This is a Sears solid state transistor AM pocket radio. I did test this, and I have a little video that I don't know if I should play it. I think my computer might explode. Yeah, I think we're gonna go into explosion territory. Oh, I don't have my sound on. So if you can hear that, I did show a little video. I think it just adds a little bit extra. These little transistor radios can be very collectible, and I picked this in a little bulk buy of them. There was 40 of them. Not all of them work. Some of them I could have fixed, but they weren't worth enough for me to go through the fixing process. And I paid 50 cents after it was all said and done for each of them. So some of them were washes, but this one sold for $23. I've sold a bunch of others, so I'm really happy with that buy. So these little transistor radios, if you can get them for a good price, they are good money. Do be warned, you need, I think it's the 9-volt batteries. Did I show inside? No. But you do have to connect it, so you do need a different size battery than, some people don't really keep those on the hand anymore, so just be aware of that. This is more golf club head covers. I really like picking these up. I really like picking up the fun ones, for lack of a better term. So Daphne's is a huge one I pick up all the time. But this is Bald Eagle Golf Club driver head cover by Stephen Smith. It's a lot of 2, and they sold, I believe, for $30, and I paid, I think, $2 total for them, roughly. It was in a little buy, so I think that's roughly what I paid. And they sold in a couple months, and they're just so easy to ship. I also love the head covers because they're easy to ship. They don't shatter. This one surprised me. This is a vintage Hohner L Centenario harmonica, Gloria Patricia. I don't really know what I'm saying here. 1810 to 1910. I don't know. But it's a harmonica, and I was really surprised. So I was looking this up, and I found other ones that were made in, say, Germany, different things like that. This one's actually made in China, and I thought that might deter the value slightly, but it still sold for full asking price in probably a week. My mother-in-law picked this up and, asked how much, and I'm just thinking like, oh, silly buy. It's so silly. And she paid $2, so obviously it wasn't that silly. So harmonicas can definitely be a thing. This one was in nice condition, and who knew? I didn't. These are Napier Gold Tone Faux Pearl Dangle Waterfall Earrings, clip-on. I'm pretty proud of myself on some of the words here. I'm not getting better at jewelry, but I'm stumbling along a little at a time. That's been the thing I've been learning this year. And these were really nice. I couldn't find anything like them, so I just priced them you know, a little bit higher in the other clip-ons for this brand, and they sold for a best offer of $13.75. I paid $1 for them. I probably had them for a month or so before they sold. I think that's a great return. They're easy to ship. This was at the same sale as the harmonica, and my mother-in-law grabbed this too, and I did the same, like, but she grabbed it anyway. Luckily, she ignores me most of the time when I'm being silly, so she picks up valuable things and ignores me being a turkey about it. So she was right on this one. I took a best offer, I think, for $32 to $33 roughly. It's a 1986 Cabbage Patch Kids Los Angeles LA Dodgers, and it's just it was in very nice condition, had the whole outfit set up. So it was just a very nice piece. I think a lot of the collab helps with it. I have to learn better about Cabbage Patch Kids, but the collab definitely, I think, helped this one. These are, I love this sale. This was a great sale. This is new Mary Englebright. Mary Englebright, I've said in previous videos, is definitely a thing I watch out for. It's a great name to look for. Ceramic drawer pulls, rose floral set of 3. And I picked this up. It was a bag of hardware. So picking up bags of hardware can pay off. I've done it a few times, and my mother-in-law has done it a few times, and it can absolutely work out. And these were in new condition. I paid $1 for the bag, so I maybe have 50 cents, if that, into these 3 because of how many were in there. And I sold another lot of these that were a different style or a different picture on the front, but I'm very excited about that. It sold for full asking price, probably in about a month. This is I don't know what I'm saying. It's a Nikon camera lens. I will say I don't know really much about this stuff. I just do my best. I think that's what we do a lot as resellers, especially if you're an everything reseller. You do your best, because I don't know what all these words and numbers and things mean. But I know it's valuable because it was a good piece. It did sell, I think I took a best offer, $57. So I took a little lower just to kind of get it going. I bought this in a lot. It was an amazing sale. I found some amazing books at this sale. I was shaking. And I found this and a camera with it. And I have into this one and the camera about 40. The camera's definitely more. I have to find where I put the charger for the camera so I can test it. So that's not listed yet. But this paid for the camera already and the lens. So very excited. And I bought a lot of amazing books there. I've kept more than 2 of them. I told myself I could only keep 2, but I kept more. And so this was a good value for it. Definitely helped pay for the lot that I bought, and helped pay for some of the books I couldn't let go. This was one of the books, and this is Chapter House Dune. It is a first edition, first printing. This is going to be one of the less valuable ones, and I did talk about Dune in one of my books that are movies and TV shows are based on to keep your eye out for. And I did mention that I would probably wait if I found these. This one isn't super valuable, so I didn't wait longer. If I found one of the other 5 in the 6, I would probably wait to sell it until the movie comes out or closer to the movie at the end of the year. But I went ahead and sold this for full asking price, and it wasn't in perfect condition, but it sold very quickly. And I can link down in the description that video if you haven't watched it, or if you just need a refresher on books to look out for. I'll put that down in the description, because some of the prices on the Dune books will blow your mind, especially the first 3. This is a Mervin's Floppy Friends plush puppy dog. He's 25 inches, and he was very big. I think I paid $1 for him, but he sold for $25. He took a long time to sell. I mean, probably 6+ months, but plush, I'm okay waiting, because yes, it takes up storage, but I don't really have to worry about anything happening to it in storage. I don't have to worry about it clanking into things or breaking, and I'm okay waiting for the right person to buy it. And I just wanted to show you the tags that it does say Mervyn's here and Floppy Friends. And they're just very cute. I honestly should have probably fit Golden Retriever or Lab into the title, but doesn't matter anymore. This came from the book, and this came from the same place Dune came from, as well as the camera lens. And this is Pet Cemetery, Stephen King. Y38 is the gutter code, and it's a true first edition, first printing. $15.95 is what is put on the dust jacket. And I'll show you, I took a picture of the gutter code. The gutter code was terrible, so the binding made it so you couldn't fully see it, but it does say Y3, so I know it's in there. It's just you couldn't fully see the code, the full code. I took a best offer, I believe, of $34 for this, which was pretty fair, honestly. The condition wasn't amazing by any means, and I just wanted it to go to its new home. This is the one I was tempted to keep. But I kind of gauge my keeps on if I'll find the book again, if I can live without it right now. So I kept others that I felt were harder for me to find again. You know, who knows? And this is an antique Adirondack leaf walnut wood frame. It has a gold inner rim. I put as is in reed because my leaves here have seen some stuff. They are not in perfect condition, and the frame itself is not in super great condition. We paid $3 for this, which wasn't terrible. I will honestly say I didn't notice the flaws when I bought it, but $3 still wasn't a bad price. I still sold it for full asking at $16.95. These are going to be late 1800s. They are beautiful frames, very nice. Just this one definitely had some stuff against it, but still sold for $17, and took probably maybe a month, if that, to sell. I did pick up the most amazing buy of frames ever. I showed that in a video, and some of those I'm keeping, and you know, we'll see what I decide to list from there. But I picked up, I think, 3 or 4 Adirondack leaf ones from that sale as well that are in beautiful condition. Absolutely beautiful. Those ones we don't find very often. This is the Scorched Trials. Oh, there's a snore. By James Doshner. First edition, first printing. It's for the Maze Runner series, so it's the second book. And it did sell for full asking price of $30. This was when I was doing free shipping. And so count out $4 or $5 for that. So it's like it sold for $25 plus shipping. And I am very happy with that. This one doesn't come up a lot, but I paid $1 for this, I believe, at a Salvation Army, and it took, I don't know, the free shipping is telling me probably 5 or 6 plus months to sell, because I haven't done free shipping in quite a while. This is a vintage 1992 USA Dream Team NBA basketball hat cap. It's made in the USA, size was large. I believe 17 is the best offer I took on this. It is in pretty good condition. I bought this in a box of hats, and so I have 8 cents into this because finding out how much I paid per item is my favorite in little bulk buys. So this is 8 cents into 17. I'll take that. And it sold very quickly after listing. Oh, I love Alf. You can see my favorite things, Garfield and Alf. In 1986, Alf 16-inch plush doll, Coleco Alien Productions, and he's just delightful. I remember watching this with my family when I was younger, and we had 4 cats growing up, and you know, it makes you smirk. If you watch Alf, you know why I'm mentioning cats. And if you haven't watched Alf, I highly recommend watching Alf. Because also, look at him, he's adorable. This, I sold all my fallen leaf, and I found one more in the postcard box. And this sold for $25. It's an antique fallen leaf lodge postcard, Lake Tahoe, Putnam and Valentine. I just put men and woman because it is amazing having the people in the picture as well. Okay, we're not going to get off that. And I have maybe a penny into this. This lot, I am just so impressed with my counting skills, and I just did great. This is a private listing lot of 9 Generation 3 My Little Ponies. So I worked out a deal with a buyer that wanted all of these, and they're in Canada, so I was trying to make sure we got a combined listing. I love when international buyers reach out to me beforehand so we can get that combined shipping for them. And this is 8, if you haven't already counted. It's not 9. Super impressive of me, but there's pictures of all of them. And so they wanted these, and we agreed on a price plus shipping. I was super happy with that. 8 ponies selling for $95. I will take it because I have 50 cents into each pony. 51 if we're going to be really exact. And so this was, what, $4.08 about. So really nice little profit there. The ponies have been very, very good to me. This is an Oshkosh Baby Bagosh thermal waffle weave plush teddy bear with tags but reed. And I ended up taking a best offer for $60. Yes, I do think I could have gotten more over time. This had been listed for a couple months, but I just want it to go to its new home, so I don't have to move it to mine. And it had some staining. So where is it? If you can see the staining, I don't know. There's a little bit there. You can kind of see the dots. Yeah, there's some staining. That's a horrible looking picture. I might block that out. You don't need to see my finger. And, yeah, I even have a hair in there, and I really try to never get hairs in my pictures, so that's embarrassing. But it's there. It is what it is. But it did have the tag, and it was in really nice condition otherwise. But my finger looks bad. Okay. Oh, and I have maybe 50 cents into that guy. I pulled him out of a bin. And this is a vintage Ziggy I Love You plush doll, 1993 Dracula. And I pulled this out of a grab bag. There was other stuff I wanted in the grab bag, so I just decided if something has value, I'm going to list it. I mean, I listed and sold a Beanie Baby for $5 out of it. I might as well sell Ziggy. And so I sold it for $5.24 on my coupon, or, yeah, discount. And I'm happy with that. I have maybe a quarter into him. I'll take it. I won't complain. This is a vintage 1986 Dakin Fun Farm Honey Joe Bear Teddy plush. This is another case of if you get plush, sometimes you just need to wait for the right buyer, especially your more vintage stuff. And I just waited. I paid, I think, $1 for this, and it sold for full asking after, I think, maybe 6 months, 6 or 7 months for $35. It was bigger, but it was in really nice condition, and you just gotta wait, because I didn't have really any interest in this item beforehand, so this just kind of sold out of the blue. So I'm excited by that. This was a pair of brass swan bookends. They're 6 inches tall, and I put reed because when I put this as a note here is that when I shook one of them, I mean, I didn't violently shake it, but you can hear things jostling in there. So I just wanted the buyer to be aware so they didn't think something happened in shipping, or they didn't think, you know, something. It didn't affect the item in any way. They just, a little noisy. And I paid up for a lot of bookends I got. That I had 2 that were decently valuable, so it wasn't a terrible buy, but it wasn't an amazing buy. And so I paid $7.50 for these, and they did sell for Poshmark for $40. I really like Poshmark because these would have taken probably a while to sell on eBay. I had some interest on eBay, but Poshmark, the shipping was only $7.97 plus this, so it was really affordable for the buyer, even though they're heavier. And I do have, I'll link this video down below as well. This is about collector plates, because this is not a valuable collector plates, but I kind of wanted to show it just because I happened to sell one right after I did the video. This is a vintage Yadro Christmas Carolers Navidad 1971. So when you hear the name Yadro, you think, absolutely, that's got to be valuable. No. Sold for $11. I think we paid a couple dollars at a thrift store because both me and my mother-in-law were like, it's Yadro. So collector plates strike again, but do watch that video I made because I do show you some collector plates that are very valuable, and I hope to make a sequel to that video as well. So do remember, even though I'm being a little goofy here, that there are a couple valuable ones. Not a ton, but there are some. And this is just it's this Lady Pepperell standard pillowcases, and they're just vintage. They're still sealed. I paid a couple bucks for them. They sold for 15 bucks on Mercari. So I tend to always pick up this stuff, especially if it's vintage and it's cheap, because it'll eventually sell to the right buyer. Someone will remember this pattern, or they just want this for their home aesthetics that they're trying to get. And this is the last one. This is a Jackalope plush 9-inch stuffed animal. Schmitty Good was the company. I don't know that it's really a company, so when I looked it up, I believe it's actually on Etsy. This was sold originally. And so I sold it for $18 still. I paid $1 for it. And this is another case of why I do like cross-listing. I had this listed for a couple months on eBay with really no interest, and I listed this on Mercari, and it probably sold in half an hour. So that's why I do it. And so that's all of them. I don't want this video to get too long, so we're just going to end it right here, and then do look for the second one either in the description or wait for it on the next day if you're watching this on the premiere. Thanks, everyone.